What's up, you guys? 3B Games back with another video for you guys. Marvel Strike Force here. This is going to be a little different. I'm going to show you, break down seed theory and all of its components for you to digest. But I have a disclaimer, this is not scientific. This is trial and error. We know seeds exist in the game, but of course they don't want you to know the details of how the seeds work. So this is all just trying your best to recognize a good seed or a bad seed and what that can do for you. So let's get into it. As you see here, we have Spider-Man symbiote. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to dump about 400,000 ish gold into symbiote Spider-Man. What this does right here is it allows for one of the content creators that makes seed theory claims, Remen X. He says if you spend about 400,000 gold, it will not activate a seed, but it will push you into a good seed, like sometimes. So you start off, if you're going to open orbs, just start off using gold. This is gold I was already going to spend. We have the milestones that are active for Captain Marvel. I always hit at 825,000. I spent 400,000 last night when I did the last video. I'm spending 400,000 today. Of course, that leaves 25,000 left to still buy stuff. But I'll probably hit the next milestone after that. What is it? It's like 1,000,000, just for good measure there. But that's why I'm spending 400,000. If I had maxed out my milestones, I had spent like 2.9 million gold, I probably wouldn't do this. I would just wait for the next restart of the day, because it's not worth doing this part if you're not getting anything out of it. It's not worth spending gold if you don't want to spend it. Alright, skipping ahead a little bit. I spent the gold. Now we're going to go into the milestones. We're going to claim the milestones because this little bit of interactivity will, I don't know, it gives you a little bit of time separated from spending the gold and opening the orbs, doing stuff, activating loading screens, clicking buttons, and it's telling the game essentially that you are progressing, and so it's helping in practice the seed get activated, kind of thing. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of my screen where I have the milestone orbs, and that's because I get milestone orbs very easily. They're very low value for me, and so using them as indicator orbs is very useful for me. Whereas you could use gold orbs. Gold orbs is probably the most common one to use, and essentially you want any orb that'll give you a 1% drop or a 1% drop or less percent. So if you have, like, in milestone orbs, if you get a Coulson drop, that is a 5 shard Coulson drop is a 5% chance. But there is a 5% chance and then a 70% chance to get Coulson. So that essentially makes it about a 3.5% chance to get those 5 shards of Coulson. If it was a 5 shards of Captain Marvel, that is 5% chance to get the 5 shards, but then it's 30% chance of the 5% to get Captain Marvel, which makes it about 2%. I believe, yeah, 40% would be 2%. So it's just under 2%, which gives you that 1%. So if you do get Captain Marvel here, that is an indication of a higher seed. Now, what indication means is that if you are getting that 1% drop, it could be a tell that you are in a higher seed. And what a seed means is just you have a set table of RNG given a time frame. It's set with the time in the game. It's arbitrary to try to follow. You can just recognize it. So what you're doing with these orbs, so first you spend the gold and you try to activate the seed, quote unquote. And then you go in, you do a little bit of interaction, maybe click a gear piece or claim your milestones. You go into the orbs, you go to the indicator orb you want to open. You're going to open up to 10 orbs to try to get an indication. As you see here, I've stopped the replay I have here where I have opened a 500 shard or a 500 shard, was a training mat orb piece, which is a 1.25% drop. And this is within the first 10 orbs. I think it was the 5th orb, if I remember correctly. So that means from here, I'm going to go right into the red stars and start opening away. Now, how that works is if you find an indication, you go to the red stars, you're going to open 10 red star orbs max. If you see anything after that 10th orb, if you open the 11th orb and it's a 1, you're done. The seed is bad. Go take a break. Come back a different time. But in those 10 orbs that you open, you might see a blue. That blue might turn into a purple on the next one, which might turn into a gold on the next one. Or you might just get a pop, like random gold in there. There's no recognizable way to tell that the seed is going to fall out. But if you think you're in a good seed, you're going to see the rewards as such. So you'll see what happens here. I recognize that that's the 1.25% drop. I believe I'll show you on the table here. Yeah, go into the left pillar. Show you that is the 1.25% drop, not the 23.75% drop. And that means we are going to go right into the red star orbs, I believe. So, yeah. Let's just see how this turns out. Up to the red star. Hoping for domino. Got my fingers crossed. Open the first orb and I get a 2. Already looking better than yesterday. My first orb yesterday was a 1. And then we get the purple. So this is what you want to see. That right there is what you want to see. So this may not look like much to you. This is what a good seed is. I took a 1.25% indication. I went to the red star, and on the second orb I got a 4 drop. At this point, I can say it was an above average seed. It was not a great seed. I didn't get anything phenomenal, but I am actually in an above average seed because in the regular red star orbs, I get a 4 drop. I still have 8 more orbs to open. I don't think I go that far because, as you'll see, my RNG quickly takes a nosedive. I think that was the cap on this seed. I got another 2-star domino, which doesn't do much for me. But this is essentially that's seed theory right there. You take you spend the gold, you think you quote unquote activate it, but then you go to the indication, you find the indication, you translate it to the red stars, and you see it happen. This is not confirming it, as obviously by last night you saw I got an indication and then I didn't get anything good. So it's not always that. Sometimes it's just RNG. Like it's a percentage drop no matter what. All the seed does is say you have a higher chance to get higher percentage drops. This is my last. I think I was just double checking in the gold, and then I opened some more orbs here. I think I go over to the. Yeah, I was seeing how close I am to a 4-star, and then I do that, and then yeah, I just opened some more orbs here. So yeah, so let's just review. That is what you do. You go in, you spend, by Reminex's standard, you spend 400,000 gold. That is your activation cost. That is how you buy into a good seed. That is not 100% true. You can just go in whenever you want. You don't have to spend gold, and you can skip that step. But I do it because I'm going to spend the gold anyways. You go to an indication orb. Very good ones are milestone orbs. Very good ones are gold orbs. There's also the Greek raid orbs. I believe you can, if you get like a 14 or higher drop in the middle, is a good indication. There's also the campaign orbs. We're gonna have the domino campaign coming up soon. They have very good indication in them because they all have like the same as the Greek raids. They'll have a 14 or higher drop as the 1%. And then what else? I would recommend Milestone. There's a ton of different indications in the Milestone. Like there's the Captain Marvel drop. There's the 10 shard drop of either. There's the 500 orb shard that I saw today. There's the the gold gear drop, which is what I believe I saw yesterday. That's the 0.04% chance to drop that. And then you just go in and you see what you got. So after you get the indication, You go to the red star orbs, and then you just open. You have a 10. You want to set yourself a 10 red star orb maximum in the seed that you're testing. You're going to see greens, which is fine. But you might see a lot of blues. If you just see, like, in 10 orbs, you see 4 or 5 blue drops, that might have been your seed. You might see one purple, one like 4 or 5 drop, like I got. That might be your seed, but you might also get a 6 or a 7 drop. And that's important. That's what the goal is here, obviously. It's also important to note if in those 10 red star orbs you do accrue enough for a 4 red star elite, you do switch over and you open that before you continue. You're supposed to open them as you go. That's I don't have enough experience to say if that's worth doing or not. That's just what I'm relaying from Reminex's video. At this point, I hope you understand what I'm doing when you see me in these videos, and if you did like this explanation, you can like, subscribe, ring the bell, ding the thinger. If you don't want to get those notifications, you can follow me on Twitter instead. I post each and every time a video goes live. You can comment down below if you have anything to add to it, or any sort of weird things you want me to try out. I'm willing to do that too. So yeah, just let me know. And I'll see you on the next one, which I don't think is going to be another red star opening for Domino. I have 5 red star orbs left. I don't buy them. And I need to save them for X23 and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. So, without further ado, see you on the next one. Peace.